Hi guys, welcome back. So today let's discuss about how we can write pseudocode and what are the different types of statements that we come across while writing. So let's jump into the topic. So we have three types of statements: assignment statement, conditional statements, loop or iterative statements. This is also known as loop structures. So coming to assignment statements, these are statements that are used to assign certain value to variables. And the symbol used is, this is the symbol that is used to represent assignment statements. For example, when you write like this means 3 is assigned, A is assigned value 3. So this is the meaning. So assignment can also be done as a result of some operations, like it can be like 3 plus 5. So what it will does is it will do this operation and it will assign that value to A. So it can be also in number variables like B plus C. So it will calculate the data from two variables and that will be assigned. So to note that this is the symbol that is used for assignment statements, and this kind of statements are happening everywhere when we write pseudocode. Now the different operator and what actions that are done is shown in the below table. So here for addition we use the plus symbol, for subtract minus symbol, and for multiplication we use the star symbol, and for divide the forward slash, and to represent the power we use the sign, tilde sign, and to group brackets are used. Now these are some of the examples of assignment statements. Here as you can see, the value 10 is assigned to cost, and here what is doing is we are multiplying the cost by 2 and that is added to the price, that is assigned to the value price. Here we are again doing multiplication to the value price and it is added. Now here you can see selling price is price plus tax. So these two variables are added and it is stored in this value. And also we can store, other than numerical operations, we can also store like strings, male, female, in double quotes. And these are the boolean variables where it can take the value either false or it can take the value true. So this is how a assignment statement will look like. Now going to the second type of statement, which is conditional statements. So these are the statements that works based on certain conditions. Like if a condition is going fine or it's true, it will do a set of tasks, and if it is not, it will do another set of tasks. So coming to conditional statements, we are having two types: if then else and if, and case of otherwise in case. So first let's look into this one, if then else and if. As the name indicates, this works like, syntax is, if we will provide some condition, and this condition can be a comparison, whatever, it can be anything. So if some condition is true, then with an indent space you have to write then, and we will write the statement that is to be executed when it is true, if the condition is true, and after that you will give else and you will provide statement 2, and once it is finished we have to close this by end if. So this is the syntax how it is works. So for example, look at this example. So actually this angle bracket is here represented to represent it is a condition, it can be any operator. So for example, here the condition is if age is less than 18. So suppose if age is less than 18, then it is a child. Suppose we entered age of 20, it means it won't happen. So if it is not true, so what happens is it will print adult, and finally you give end if. The indentation that is to be given is to be taken care of. And this is another example. As you can see here, you can see only found. Here there was a comparison. So this is actually a boolean variable. So boolean variable, as I said, it will take either true or false. So if found means if it is true, if the value in found is true, then what will happen? Your search was successful. Else it will print your search was unsuccessful. So first example does a comparison, Second example is checking a boolean value whether it is true or not. Now another example to represent this is, as you can see, if we are having multiple things to compare, like for example here they are comparing if height is greater than 1 or weight is greater than 20 and age less than 70 and age greater than 5. So this is a scenario where the conditions are checked, like either height can be greater than 1 or weight less than 20, either of this case, and these two conditions to be followed, and means that is must. So any one of this and this should be effective. Then what happens is you can write else too small, too young, too old. So we can use in whatever manner we want, like a group of conditions are given. So this is how we will compare the conditions. So if either of the condition is to be there, you have to put in an or, and if both conditions are to be false, we use and. Now these are the operators that are basically used to use the comparison. This is the greater than, less than. For equal, you will put an equal sign. This is greater than or equal. This is less than or equal. And for not equal, we put like this, less than and greater than together. And if both conditions are to be met, we used and. If any one is, we put or. And if it shouldn't, then we can give note. So these are the basic operators and their functions mapped. Now look at this example. There is another concept in if else, like this is known as nested if else. So nested if else means inside an if else we are using one more. So we call it as nested if else. As you can see, the output they are asking please enter a mark. So input we are entering some mark. Okay. Now condition is if percentage mark is less than 0 or greater than 100. So if any of the case, this is invalid mark. Else what is happening is, if percentage mark greater, we are checking if a student is passed or not. So initial we are checking whether if we can enter any number here, like minus 45 anywhere. So if this if statement is checking whether the entered mark is valid or not. So if it is less than 0 or greater than 100 means it is below the minimum mark and above the maximum mark. In that case we were putting invalid mark. Else what we need to find is whether the mark which got is greater than 49, that is if it is 50 or above it is pass or else fail. So inside the else again we are using one if statement. You can see like here if percentage mark is greater than 49 then pass, else fail. So when we use an if else inside an else, inside another if else, that is known as nested if. Okay. So this is how we can nest the conditions. Now the third type of statements, that is case of otherwise in case. These are the statements where basically this is used when we have a scenario, like in the if condition we know that if one condition is not true, another work is there. Suppose you are doing some you are having some menu like 1 2 3 4, and first menu is for add, second menu is for subtract, third menu is for multiplication, and fourth is for division. Okay. So when you enter 1, that means if you are entering two numbers, you have to get the result as 5. When you were entering the choice as 3, then it will multiply and give the result 6. So this is what we want to do. So here what happens is, depending on the choice we select, the answer changes. If we select 1, it will add. If we select 2, it will subtract. If we select 3, it will multiply, and if we select 4, division. And if any other choice is entered other than 1 2 3 4, like 5 6 7 10, any number, then it should print like it is a invalid choice. Okay, or please enter a valid choice. So look at this. So here we give the syntax case of is there, otherwise is there, and case is there. So case of this choice is a place where this is the where whatever we entered 1, 2, 3, 4 that is taken. So if you are selecting 1, what happens is it will select what is the value and it will do the operation that is meant here, and it will end the case. So 2, 3, 4 we have defined what is to be done. If any value other than 1, 2, 3, 4 is entered, it will output please enter a valid choice. So again, if you are entering valid choice, it will repeat. Okay. So this is case of otherwise and case. So next type of statement is iterative statements, which I have discussed in another video. So thank you for your time. Have a great day, guys.